Good to see you again. How'd you do it? No, because there's so many questions to ask. And actually, we'll start with, was this as challenging as you thought it would be? Was it more challenging? What made this different than anything you've ever done?
I think the scope of humanity involved with the Manhattan Project, right there. I mean, I read a figure once that said, directly and indirectly, there were about 600,000 Americans involved with the creation of the first atomic devices. And so the breadth of humanity putting together an incredible cast, Cillian Murphy at the center of it, but then, Robert Downey Jr., Matt Damon, Emily Blunt, Florence Pugh, the list goes on and on and on. But that was what was challenging and important about this film, was to put together that breadth of talent and people who came together to make this thing happen. There were a lot of challenges involved with the film, not least being out there in the middle of the desert. We had to build the town of Los Alamos in the desert because the modern day Los Alamos is too modern. We needed to be out there in the elements the way they were, because they literally went to the middle of nowhere, to a place that Oppenheimer had gone, camping with his brother as a kid and just sort of thought would be nice and isolated and all the rest up on this mesa. And they built this town, they built this facility to create the first atomic bomb. And so we had to get out there and do that and kind of engage in the same kind of teamwork that reflect the Manhattan Project, but get out into the middle of the desert, build this tower, and pull off our version of the Trinity test.
My family's from West Texas, so I've heard of Los Alamos. I was born in El Paso. Now I know way more than I ever thought I could imagine, and it makes me interested. I did not know, I've heard the name, and obviously had heard of the bomb, but didn't really know the story. As you took this on, what stands out as part of the learning process about this story to you?
I think for me, the most important learning process, which I got very much from reading Kai Bird and Montechuan's American Prometheus, you start to realize that personal connection between Oppenheimer, the man, and the global event and life-changing technology that he put out into the world. It's that balance that you get from the book, and as you look on his story, and you start to see how his own flaws, his own foibles, his own prejudices and things about how he operated within the world, how that affected the world that all of us now live in. It's that balance that I became really interested in.
You and I have talked films in the past that you've worked on, and you've had incredible casts before, but everybody is in this movie. I mean, it's I got whiplash every time. Oh, that's right, he's in it. Robert Downey Jr., fantastic performance. You've been killing everybody. Emily, Matt, everybody's just fantastic in this. What is it like for you as a director to work with these? They're movie stars.
They're movie stars, but they're also incredible actors. I love to work with great collaborators, actors who can just bring something to the table, who you can trust. Yes, they'll give a great performance, but they'll come up with things, they'll create things that you just couldn't have imagined, couldn't have foreseen. So the film becomes so much more than I could imagine as a director or as a writer-director. So in the case of Oppenheimer, you're dealing with real-life people. And so they were able to, Robert Downey Jr. was able to go off and really research Louis Strauss, who he's playing. Matt Damon was able to know everything about General Gross. Emily Blunt could drill in on, Kitty Oppenheimer. And so then they turn up on set and they know more about the characters than I do. And when you work in fiction, I'm the one who's supposed to have all the answers because I've made these people up or whatever. This is a very different situation. And so you're relying on these brilliantly smart and intuitive and well-researched actors to come on set and show you something that you didn't even know could be there.
And you made Matt Damon, he told me, grow a real mustache as opposed to having it drawn in. That's a true story?
That is a true story, yes. It might not be quite as dynamic as the idea that, yes, we did a massive explosion with the Trinity test, or on Tenet we crashed a 747 into a building. But I do like to do things for real, and so having Matt grow that mustache is in that great tradition.
Thank you, sir. Always good to see you. It's amazing. Good job. Seriously, love it.